Hey guys, I think I was a little let down by this, but whatever. Let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is the winter finale for Empire. This is our half. We're at the halfway. They'll come back in March. But I was a little let down by what went on. It was like we hurried up and tied up a bunch of stuff real fast, and that's becoming like the thing with Empire. And I'm not really liking that. I don't like that quick tie up. But whatever. So let's just go by the people because that's basically what happened. We just tied things up. We started off. We got Angelo and Cookie are actually down. They're doing this whole thing. He's doing the speech outside and it's talking to the people. And the people are giving him, man, get out of here with that bullshit. You got this captain's ball coming up. You know, everything is so highbrow and the hell with the little people kind of thing. So Cookie kind of took the lead and stepped in and started talking about, Angelo's really for the people. He's really a regular dude. He lives in a regular house. He has regular, everything about him is just regular. He's just a regular dude like my father. My father was a plumber, was a regular dude. And that's why I like Angelo and that's why I'm with him. And they're like, we know who you are. You're Cookie Lyons. She's like, that's right. I'm Cookie Lyons. And he's a regular dude. Trust me. So it lent street cred to Angelo. And then they said, well, what about that captain's ball? Cookie said, we'll change that. We're going to do it right on down here. And we'll call it the people's ball. So, of course, Angela's mother was given, bitch, what are you giving, honey? And she's like, we didn't invite all these highbrow people. She said, well, tell them they'll be coming down here, honey. That's all. So it ended up being a big old concert and a block party, basically. So it worked. And it worked like hell with Angelo's numbers. Next thing we end up seeing, we see that goddamn Lucious and Angelo's mammy together on the Ferris wheel working Jack. She comes to Lucius and tells him there's a reporter that has some news that she doesn't want reported because it would hurt Angelo's um, campaign. And what could you do to make sure that that doesn't surface? And Lucius was like, that's all right, I got you. What you gonna do for me? She said, honey, I know my son's buttons to push, and I'll push the buttons, honey, and get rid of Cookie and get him away from Cookie. This is before they noticed the jump up in the numbers where Cookie, Cookie lent street cred to his campaign, and he's a good thing. Lucius did the whole thing that he was supposed to do. He pulled the little writer guy and had him threatened basically. And, he was threatened about kidnapping and killing and coming up stinking. And he was like, okay, so he held off on the information. We didn't know what the information is, but I'm gonna tell you about it later. Just keep on hanging with me here. So when Lucius rolls back up on Angelo's mother, they're in the office and she's like, okay, all of everything worked fabulous. Thank you so much. Only thing I can't hold up my end of the bargain because she did too much good for Angelo's campaign. I can't get rid of Cookie right now. It would damage my campaign. But I could do something else for you. I can get you tickets to some swanky dinners and this that. He's like, do you know how many swanky dinners I go to? I don't need that. And he told her, but that's okay. Just take that as my contribution to his campaign. I want to see a good black mayor here for I said for New York. I said, okay. I said, that's a lie. That's a lie. That motherfucker got something up his sleeve. But whatever. So we go on. Then we got Anika, and she's waking up in the bed with Lucius, okay? And Lucius tells her, what have I told you about me waking up and you being in my bed? You know, and they're like, oh, well, your little man didn't seem to think that there was a problem with it, honey. And she had rubbed her butt back there on this little ding dong, honey. And I said, oh, here we go, honey. And she grinning. And under the cover, she had business, honey. Get ready, get in there hobnobbing, honey. Next thing you know, you hear a vacuum cleaner, honey, and here go Granny that pushed her ass up in there. And child Nika gets from up under the covers. Is like, this is just ridiculous, you know, Lucious. And he said, Mama, what are you doing? She gonna say, I'm doing the same thing she's doing. Only difference is I'm sucking dirt out of the carpets. I said, oh, child. So Anika was like, that's it, Lucious. It's going to be me or her. God damn, I'm sick of this shit. And she storms off. Child, and Granny's giving, got you again, bitch. You know, that Granny is too much, child. She's too much. So let's talk about Tyreek. Tyreek got his whole thing going. Okay, so now we get the pool together. Remember when Shine was doing the videotaping on the phone of Nessa and Hakeim and Frida got. Frida was rapping and she was speaking about her father being murdered, and she said something about different initials in that. Tyreek had taken that. Shine is working with Tyreek. Gave that information. He then worked it all out, and they kind of know who it is because they went through whenever the emails and stuff linked and all of that stuff that, you know, when their systems got hacked, they seen the payouts of the two people to the two people's families, put it all together. And Tyreek was like, I can go in. I need you to help me. He went to his commander-in-chief that went and said, okay, so he signed off on it to freeze all of Lucious's liquid assets. So that's what they did. So they crippled him there. And Tyreek was going to go in. Now, he told Tyreek, this sounds personal. This whole investigation has a personal kind of feel to it. And it better not be. It better not be. And I said, okay. So a little bit later on, the funds and everything gets frozen. Lucious and Thirsty come rolling up in the FBI office, and I said, you all better fucking work, honey. They come in, and Lucious is like, you know, okay, so he's like, here I am. You want me here? What? I don't understand. You want me so badly that you're just doing any old thing. So here, I'm here. I came to you. Now the whole thing is, I don't understand. He's like, you know, we have something in common. And I don't know if everybody knows. Y'all didn't know that he's my brother. We are brothers. And I didn't even realize that you really wanted to have something of our dad's. He said, I've had something for years to give to you, but I never knew what your name was. I would have always had your back, but I didn't know who you were. I didn't know your name. Nobody ever told me your name. So now that I know this right here, what you're doing, this ain't what brothers do. Trying to pin stuff on each other. This ain't what brothers do. I said, oh, Lucious, you raggedy motherfucker. So he took, and he had his dad's badge, and he gave it to Tyreek. Honey, and the whole office was looking like, oh, your ass is in trouble now, honey. So Lucious was like, we're out of here. So him and Thirsty walk out, honey. Tyreek was mad and hot as a firecracker. So he goes on. Shine double crosses Tyreek and ends up going to Lucious and telling Lucious, I can help you with that problem you're having with the money. I can give you access to 50 million so you can keep on doing what you're going to do with the company. Because, you know, he couldn't pay anybody or anything. So, you know, shit like that, people will walk the fuck out on you if you can't pay them. He said, I could give you this money to work with, but I need a seat. I need a seat at Empire. So that was all a plan of Shine's from the door. He always planned to double cross Tyreek and weasel his way into the board at Empire. And it worked. So Lucious and Thirsty was like, this is like rolling dice. But okay. So they're going to have some shit for Shine. Shine ain't as smart as what he thinks he is. That motherfucker Thirsty is crafty as hell. So I always with Thirsty, you know, Lucious going to always come up on top. So I just kind of laughed at that. And Tyreek was so mad. He came to see Shine, and Shine was like, whatever, you know, What's the matter? He gonna take it, say, have a drink with me. Took the liquor and poured it all out on the floor and shit, or on the bar. I said, oh, poor Tyreek. Went on about his way. Okay, so Nessa and Dre, let's talk about them. Nessa and Dre had this whole thing. Dre's over there, he's in and out of his nutso. And she sees him, and he finally tells her, I'm bipolar. I suffer with bipolar disorder and everything like that. She says, I know. I know what that is. And he tells her, he says, my wife always handled this. My wife took care of my meds. She made my appointments. She kept me straight. Nessa said, I'm not going to do none of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you to do that. I'm going to teach you how to take care of yourself. Teach you how to take care of yourself. And Rhonda's kind of showed up in the room and was like, she's trying to take you away from me. And I was like, So he's looking over at Rhonda and looking at Nessa, but he's liking what Nessa's saying, like, oh, yeah. And so it ended up being this whole other thing. We end up seeing Andre go, and he's sitting on the beach, and he's talking to Rhonda. He's having this whole episode out there really by himself, and him and Rhonda come to an agreement that he's going to go with Nessa. He's going to make Nessa a big star. She's going to be a big star at Empire. He's going to continue to take over Empire. And she told him, you have to promise me that you get that bitch that killed me and our baby. And then you see he lets her go. He takes his ring off, and he actually throws his ring into the water. And we actually see Rhonda walk off into the water. I said, crazy as a motherfucker. All right, whatever. So, last thing we see of Andre actually rolls up on Shad and tells Shad, I know what you did. I know that little game you played and you pulled all those little strings. I know what you did. And he's like, and I could go to Lucious and tell him, but that ain't what I'm going to do. And he said to him, he's like, Nessa told me you was crazy as shit. You got to be crazy to be rolling up on me with that bullshit. He told me, you just come with me, walk with me, and I'm going to tell you what's getting ready to happen. So he tells him, he says, what we're going to do is I'm going to work with you and you're going to work with me. You're going to trust me and I'm going to trust you. We're going to work together until the time comes. He says, the time comes for what? He tells him, the time to kill my father. I said, Lord, he had this old crazy sinister look in his face. I said, oh, you crazy old motherfucker. So that's that for that. So that's where they're at. During the concert and the block party, Hakeim and Tiana perform together, and then they end up kissing on stage. And of course, everybody's happy because they're like, Hakeim. They're glad that they're back together. So of course, that's going to break the internet. I was like, child. So now we got the lesbian and the boy with the big shoes is back together. All right. So last person, Jamal. Jamal's getting everything together to perform. And he ends up having an episode. Cookie comes down and tells him, you're going to perform and you're going to perform clean. Oh, no, I'm clean. So she goes through that. She's like, no, give me all your pills. He get to go on searching in corners and the cubbies and in cereal boxes, pulling out pills. She said, I want them all. She pours them down the sink. And then the day of the concert, he's saying everything's cool. Day of the concert, she goes, she's like, where the hell's Jamal? They said that the car's been there waiting on Jamal for 2 hours. Cookie runs, concert's going on. She runs over to Jamal's house. Jamal's going through withdrawal. His stomach is cramping. He's throwing up his shit. She like, all right, cool. Because he ain't never really been clean. Like he said, he just been lying, a fucking junkie motherfucker. So he's like, I need my meds. I'm telling you, I got to do this. I can't do this like this. I can't prove Lucious right. I can't do this. She's like, all right. So this bitch, my dad was a plumber. She goes down and looses the J-bin and gets some nasty ass pills out. Gives them to Jamal. He takes the fucking pills, goes and literally kills the performance. And he's high as a motherfucker. He gets down off the stage and he's like, this is good. Honey, everybody was standing around. Honey, Cookie already had it set up, baby. She said, you're going to rehab right now. And he's like, Mommy, don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. She's like, shut up, junkie motherfucker. You're going, honey. Get your purse. So she done sent his ass to the rehab. So that's what's going on with Jamal. Last thing, the payback, because I told you there was going to be a payback. When Lucious did all that bullshit about how he was going to just, what he had done for Angelo's mother, he was just going to let that be his contribution bullshit. At the very end of the concert, everything's all over with. Then Lucian literally ends up saying, oh, he set them up. Literally, the guy shows up that actually has a story about Angelo, and he goes on, and he has said to Cookie, you know, Angelo is an opportunist, and he's not the nice guy you think he is. Well, they end up ambushing him, and they get his mama standing there, Cookie standing there, and now he's on the spot, and the little guy that Lucius had actually threatening that is there, and he gets to asking him questions and stuff, and they got the mic in his face, and Cookie was trying to intervene, and Angelo's like, no, it's okay, Cookie. He said, when I was younger, I had a DUI. So I got pulled over for drunk driving when I was younger. And Cookie jumps in. She's like, oh, you know what? It is what it is. Everybody got a little something in their past. There's a lot of teens that actually have DUIs. And the man dropped the bomb and said, yeah, but everybody doesn't careen into a lake and save themselves and allow a young teenage girl to die. Honey, and everybody gave. I said, oh, that goddamn Lucius. And then he walked on off like, gotcha. I said, oh, Lucius. So that's it. That's all. It was like, it was like they did a lot of tying up, but nothing really cliffhangerish too much other than Andre. Yeah. It was all right. It was all right. It wasn't like, how Empire is, how we expect Empire to really leave us hanging. They didn't really do that. So I said, okay. All right, but whatever. I'll see you all in March, and we'll see where we go. I don't know about this program here. I don't know, but okay. Still a fan. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.